Okay, hey everybody, welcome to the last day of the month for August. I can't even believe it. I can't believe September is starting. I'm super excited. I hope you are too. September is one of my favorite months, but we're not there yet. We're in August. And I know Jordan is sharing a little bit more about moving into your red jacket and getting excited about that and joining us at Charlotte Leadership Advance. So I will let her take it away with all that information, but I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about running your own race. Okay, so a lot of times we get really just wrapped up in the lives that we see from people on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the above. And actually, Jordan loves to refer to it as fake book and Instasham because what you see on social media is not even close to what someone is actually experiencing in their own life. And sometimes we look at people who are where we want to be and we feel jealous. We think her husband is way more supportive than mine, or she just is really talented already with makeup and skincare, or she's prettier than me, or she's more outgoing, or she's more organized. If I was more organized, then I could be successful, and I'm not. And you start thinking that so-and-so's kids are more well-behaved, or she has more support or help in her life. And we see their posts on social media through this filter, right? This filter of, number one, there are filters on Instagram, which I pray they never take them away. I love filters. Just because they're fun and I love photography. But seriously, on that social media, it convinces us that honestly, we're not enough, and that someone else has it better, is better than we are. But the truth is, the realities of her life, if she's like me or like Jordan or like other top leaders for our company, they're not plastering their entire life on Facebook. It's just that she's trying to keep a positive image for herself and for her business and to attract the kind of people she wants in her life, and honestly just be a positive influence or a bright light to her customers and friends on social media. And so, there are obstacles that I've had to overcome. I always tell people it's hard when they come to my events and they'll say, they'll think I'm not like you. I'm not polished. I'm not professional. I'm not all these things. I couldn't do a Mary Kay business, but I always say I'm a 6-year work in progress. Jordan is, gosh, how many years have you been doing this? Like a 13-year, 11 or 12 years, I forget, year work in progress. We're constantly getting better, but we choose to put positivity and spread that to other people when we have an opportunity. So as far as I know, you didn't start your business for me, right? You didn't start your business for your best friend. You didn't start your business for that woman that you're envying. You started your Mary Kay business for your family, your dreams, and your goals. So don't let these misunderstood perceptions about what someone else is doing or who they are or how easy their journey looks in Mary Kay keep you really from pursuing what's most important to you, which is your personal why. And so I wanted to give you a couple tips on how I think these little tips could help you just run your own race and run it to its fullest. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is put your blinders on. Those horses, they wear those little blinders just like this, and it's so they can only see straight ahead. Do whatever you can to eliminate anything that's going to distract you from doing what you said you wanted to do in your Mary Kay business, which is setting out on the path that's before you. Focus on your goal. Start tracking, and you can work towards that achievement. I love to encourage my consultants every single day to start by filling your cup up, okay, with positive affirmations. I learned this, if you are not already, I will always say this, a subscriber to DarrenDaily.com. Just go to that website, DarrenDaily.com, and you can subscribe for a daily text message, and it gives you some sort of inspiration, motivation to help you as an entrepreneur. So it doesn't even matter if you're in Mary Kay, it just helps you. Well, that's tip number one. Fill your cup with something that is going to grow your mind and help you in a positive direction. So that's one of the things that I do. Another thing is listening to the $1 Million Message. Once a month, I'm listening to my national sales director on a power up call. If you're watching this right now, you're already tuning into your sales directors or to your family of national area to grow yourself. So that was a great first step in running your own race and helping you grow personally. Well, one of the things that I heard one time on a Darren Daily, I got a little message and it talked about the brain. And it said the brain is in two different parts. One is called the thinker and one is called the prover. So what you think, your mind doesn't know that it's not truth. So the thinker thinks it, and then the prover goes to look across the scan of your mind and your brain and your history and your life to prove that it's true. So if you go, you know what, I just can't do this director thing because I really just don't have enough time. If I was someone who was like Jordan, where it was just my full-time job, I could definitely get it done. And then all of a sudden you go to start proving in your brain all the reasons why you're right. Why you're right that you can't do it, that you don't have the time for it, that you don't have the energy for it. So it goes to prove it. Well, if you had thought the thought, you know what? I know somebody like Courtney Howe, who works a full-time job, 40 plus hours a week, and she became a sales director. I know that I can do that because I've done other hard things before. Well, when you think that, guess what happens? Your brain on the other side goes to start to prove it. And it goes, you know what? Remember that time when you were training for a marathon and you didn't think you could fit it in, but you did. You got up every single morning and you were disciplined and you were consistent and you worked on your diet and you made sure to fit it in. And yeah, sometimes you didn't go to those fun parties on the weekend because you had a 6 a.m. run the next day, but you did it. And your brain goes to prove it. And so it's really important that you start with your mental aspect of how to run your own race, because the mind is the most important muscle that you have. And it's important that you protect it. So think positive thoughts. And so if you're someone who has not adopted having affirmations yet, I would highly consider it. You can even develop some affirmations that are totally personal to you, but pretty much take whatever ailment that you've got and fill it with a positive. Say something bold about yourself. So for example, you could say something like, earning this promotion, is important to me because it's me being obedient to God's calling. When I was becoming a sales director, I was petrified, you guys. Like I said, you look at me now and go, of course you're a sales director. You're great. Hopefully you say that. But when I was starting, I was not. I was nervous. I was scared. I was so afraid to fail in front of other people. That was my biggest holdup. But I knew that I felt in the pit of my stomach that God was calling me to something greater. And so this would have been a great affirmation for me to say. And it actually is something that I said to myself, but I didn't say it out loud and I should have, which is earning this promotion is me being obedient to God's calling, because you're confirming that calling on your life. Another affirmation you could say is my family and my future deserve me to be my best. My family and my future deserve for me to give my best. Another affirmation is I have a strong work ethic and I'm focused on the right activity. I have a strong work ethic and I am focused on the right activity. Another one I love is when I commit, I do not quit. When I commit, I do not quit. And I used to say that all the time because I used to be a quitter. When things would get hard, I would just say, oh, I'm not really interested anymore. But instead, I decided to be a finisher. So I started saying, when I commit, I do not quit. And you could even say Bible verses out loud. So one of the things I love to do, I learned from Dr. Caroline Leaf. She does a brain detox. And she tells you to affirm positivity and affirm scripture in your mind to replace negative thoughts. And so one of the things I would do is I would write literally, I'm an adult, and I would have like written Bible verses on my hand, because if I would catch a glimpse of it, I would say that Bible verse in my head, something like Ephesians 3:20, that God is able to do immeasurably more than all we can ask or imagine according to his purposes. So I would affirm those things in my mind and just say, he can do immeasurably more than I ask. He can do immeasurably more. And I would affirm that and start to believe it, because what you think, your brain will start to prove. And it'll start to prove all the times he did actually do immeasurably more than you asked or imagined. Well, another tip that I could give you is to take partnership with your sales director every single day and Vox her each morning, okay? And I want you to tell her two things. One is your daily win. One is, what's one thing that happened yesterday in your business that moved you forward or gave you joy? Sometimes it's just, you know what, I followed up with a customer and she said she's loving her new facial peel and that made me so happy. Or you could say, you know what, I did 5 booking attempts yesterday. I haven't heard back from anybody yet, but I'm really excited I did that activity. Or you could say, I got a $200, repair sale. I'm super excited. Give yourself a daily win and be prepared to tell your sales director, because when you find joy in the daily routine, you're less likely to walk away from your Mary Kay business. I find that people walk away from their Mary Kay business when they aren't having fun. And you're not having fun when you're not making money or not finding joy in the process. So find joy even in the small details. And another part of that accountability to your director is, of course, tell her what your plan of action is. Give yourself some accountability to your sales director, because accountability can make you so much more responsible for the things that you said you were going to do when you said you were going to do them. So maybe you could just say, you know what, Kelly, my win from yesterday was that I had a $200 repair sale. So that was really exciting. And today, before I put my head down on my pillow tonight, I'm committed to, reaching out to 5 new people to let them know about the facial peel. Great. Just make it an achievable goal that you can do for today. And do it in the morning, you guys, because that puts you in motion and it gives you a direction for your day. Another thing, you guys, stay away from negative people. Misery loves company. It is a cliche quote because cliche quotes are true. And misery does love company. And so stay away from negative people, even if they're Mary Kay beauty consultants. Unfortunately, sometimes Mary Kay women come into Mary Kay doesn't go all the way into them yet. They're not there yet. So if you find someone who's talking negatively about someone else, I would ask that you give that person they're talking about a compliment. If they say, oh, did you see Sarah, blah, 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 and just say, oh my gosh, but doesn't Sarah have the cutest dog? Her dog is so cute. She's always posting about when they go to the park, and I think it's super sweet. All of a sudden, they realize you're not going to be a part of their pity party, and they won't keep talking negative about that person anymore. So another thing is to work to compete against yourself. Focus on being better than you were before. Give yourself a daily or a weekly or a monthly goal that you can track and be excited about, because you should be your own competition. You should just be working to be better than you've ever been before. And that brings me to my next point, which is be an obsessive tracker. It's so important. If you say you want to be a star consultant, if you say you want to earn your own bracelet, 600 wholesale every single month, we'll track that. Be obsessive about it. Mark little tick marks on a sheet of paper every time you sell a product, so you know how much is going down and down and down and down left that you need, because what doesn't lie? A number. A tracked number grows, and numbers don't lie, and it gives you a better way for you to not only measure your progress, because knowing that you're progressing and moving forward is really important, but also lets you reassess if you need to do something different. Another tip for running your own race, you guys, is to be a joy giver and be a servant. If you were to take time to serve someone else, if you were to take time to be a giver of your energy and your joy to other people and celebrate other people and their successes, to know you encourage someone really actually releases endorphins in your body, kind of like eating chocolate does or exercising. So it actually makes you physically feel good and gives you energy. So be a joy giver. Give joy to someone else. It's so funny. Sometimes I'll come on my Facebook. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I have 55 notifications. And I'll be like, who needs me? Who wants me? Who bought that facial peel so I can beat Jordan? And then I realize it's comments from everybody else's stuff, but that's because I was like love festing all over them. I usually take about 5 minutes, maybe 2 times a day, and I just go and love and comment on people that I love and care for on their comments, because it makes them feel good to know that they're noticed and adored. So another great tip is to end your night with gratitude. One of the things I love to do, my husband, I do it every night before bed. We lay down, I put my head right on his chest, and I say, what was the best part of your day? And we assess, we just say, what was the best moment of your whole entire day? And then as I'm closing my eyes and I'm falling asleep, I start my gratitude, and I start other than praying, but I start thanking God for the wonderful things in my life. I thank him for my health and for my child, and thank you for just giving me a joyful day, and thank you for helping me, make so-and-so feel important. I just start being grateful for the things that I have, and it's amazing how full your life can feel when you fill it with gratitude. It really does change your perspective. and really helps, you know, make things count when you see what you're thankful for. Well, the last thing I would give you as a piece of advice is to take inventory of where you're spending your time. You guys, it's easy to get lost on social media. Like I said, I take like 2 5-minute windows a day to love on other people, but I don't get lost in there. I don't play the comparison game. I'm running my own race. And it's easy for you to think, you know what? I wish I had a bigger home, or, you know, I wish I had more money so I could buy more clothes or all of these, and, you know, get more stuff and just feel more like full in my life with the things that would like bring me this temporary joy. But the thing that you cannot get more of is time. Okay, you can buy more stuff, you can buy a bigger house, you can have a better car, you can have all of those things eventually one day in your life, but you cannot buy more time. You know, I posted today on my Instagram a little quote that says, "You'll never have this day again. So you have to make it count." And so what are you doing with today? Don't waste time watching other people. Invest in yourself, because when you guys are investing in yourself, you're not only investing in who you are and who you are becoming, but guess what that does? It flows right over into your business, and it flows over. You're really investing into your family, and you're investing into your future, and you're investing into, you know, your children's confidence, and you're influencing the people around you who all of a sudden watch you and what you're doing and start thinking, I could dream bigger. I could be a little more courageous. Maybe I could take a risk and do something new. And ultimately you're creating your own legacy, which at the end of the day, we're all dying. We're all going to die. And all we're left with is our legacy and how we made people feel. And so that's how valuable your 24 hours are. So don't waste it on going through this emotional management wheel that you can't get a hold of. Let go of what everybody else is doing and thinking and feeling, and focus on you and your family and your goals and your values and your building of a legacy. There's a little quote that says, comparison isn't just the thief of joy. It's a thief of everything. Keep your eyes on the purposeful path. Celebrate others. Celebrate your progress. Celebrate your progress, not perfection. Cultivate gratitude over cultivating comparison. Gratitude turns whatever we have into more than enough. So I hope that you guys will take our advice and get excited about running your own race, because no one is more excited about you to run your race to the fullest than your sales director. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.